Welcome to this financial resilience brief from Serve and Protect Credit Union. We're a free employee benefit which is available to over 2 million employees throughout the police, prison, military, fire and health services. We're here to help you save, but also there if you need to borrow throughout your service career and beyond. So let's start by looking at what financial resilience is. Financial resilience is the ability for you as an individual to withstand financially stressful events throughout your life or your career, and the impact these will have upon your income or financial position. It's really important to look at the difference between financial well-being and financial resilience. Now, throughout your career, you'll hear the term financial well-being. However, this is about the control of your day-to-day finances and the relationship you have with money in the short term. For example, being able to afford your regular expenses, such as phone bills, while also being able to buy those things, such as wants, like going to the cinema, that might mean you have good financial well-being. However, financial resilience is about the longer-term approach to your relationship with money. It's your ability to withstand life events that impact your income or assets. It's entirely possible for you to have good financial well-being, but poor financial resilience. So you may be able to meet your expenses every month, but if an unexpected cost arose, you may not be able to deal with it financially. Typically, these are the three main areas that may impact your financial resilience throughout your life or your career. Any of these things can happen to you through no fault of your own. You may experience health issues, unemployment or redundancy, or have relationship breakdowns. We want to make sure you're ready so you're financially prepared for the future. So ask yourself the question, how ready are you? Could you respond to any of those events should they happen? Do you have enough money saved? Or if not, how can you prepare? Or where can you turn to for support? Here are some typical financial challenges faced by new recruits. We know that throughout some of the markets we serve, recruits may have been joining and taken a pay cut. They may have a shortfall in their income and may bring with them some existing debt or have to borrow money to get by. Now, it's really important that you know that throughout your employment, there is a credit union service available to you, which provides access to affordable credit if needed, with repayments straight from your pay. So there really is no excuse that you should ever have to turn to a payday lender or high interest credit provider if times get tough. You may also want to think about consolidating any existing debt you may have, such as credit cards or overdrafts, as you may actually save money on your existing repayments. You may have taken a student loan, so remember, if you're budgeting, you want to take this into consideration when you get your first paycheck, just to make sure you don't have any unwanted surprises. Finally, remember, after you complete your training, you could be stationed or deployed to other locations, so make sure you consider this. We've had some examples of police officers where they can only afford to take one tank of petrol each month just to get them to and from work. We don't want this to happen to you. As your career progresses, it's likely that life outside work will change too. Whether that be developing relationships, starting a family, or buying a property, now really is the time to start planning so you are financially ready. Whether you've joined for a career for life or if it's just a 5-year plan, either way, as a new recruit, you're in a unique position where you can start preparing today. We want to make sure that you're financially ready for when you return to civilian life. So take a moment to think about where you will turn should you experience a financial emergency. Do you have money saved? Or are you lucky enough to be able to turn to friends or family? Or if not, will you have to take out a loan? Here are a few useful hints and tips for you to consider to help you along the way. Now could be a really good time to think about planning your budget. There's a really simple method where you can try and break down your take-home pay into 3 areas: needs, wants, and savings. If you try and put aside 50% for your needs, These are everyday bills, expenditure such as rent, mortgage, fuel, food. Then consider budgeting about 30% for those wants. These can be luxuries such as gym memberships, Sky TV subscriptions, etc. And then that leaves you 20% which you can put aside to try and help save, to build a savings pot that can be there to help prepare you for the future. Now we know realistically that 20% may be a struggle for some people to save. So it's not about necessarily just saving 20%, it's about saving what you can afford to. Because it's just getting into that savings behaviour and starting that pattern, which is really important. Here's an example of how saving £200 a month can quickly build into a nice savings pot. In just 12 months, that's £2,400, 3 years, £7,200, and 5 years, £12,000. So even though that deposit for a house may seem a long way off, it's important to make a start. Even if you can't afford £200, the key is to start saving what you can, no matter how much you can afford. We know that it's not always easy to start saving, or even finding the money to put aside each month. So you also need to make sure you are prepared should you ever need to borrow money, whether it's a personal loan, credit card, or even a mortgage. Checking your credit profile is a great way to make sure you stay up to date with your existing repayments and manage your credit score. There are lots of free sites available, like Credit Karma or ClearScore, where you can register and receive a monthly report based on your credit profile and how it looks. They give you some really useful hints and tips to help improve your credit rating, which then improves your chances of accessing credit if you ever need it in the future, and also qualifying for the most competitive rates. You really should avoid problem gambling or the use of high interest credit or payday loans. These patterns of behaviour can really reduce the likelihood of accessing future credit at fair and reasonable rates, if you get that credit at all. The use of payday loans, for example, can even negatively impact your credit score. This is the same with buy now, pay later schemes such as Klarna, so they're well worth avoiding if you can. Here's a quick comparison. If you look at the cost of borrowing £1,000 from Serve and Protect versus a payday lender such as Peachy Loans, you'll see that to borrow the £1,000, it will cost you £89.55 per month with Serve and Protect versus £162.87 from Peachy Loans. This is if you were to repay the loan over 12 months. Now this doesn't sound like too much of a difference, but now look at the total interest charged. The total interest is the cost to borrow that money, so what you have to pay back on top of the original amount you borrowed. With Serve and Protect, you have to pay an additional £74.60 on top of the original £1,000, whereas with Peachy you have to pay an additional £954.40 in interest, so nearly double the amount that you originally wanted to borrow. So as you can see, there really is no excuse in turning to a high interest credit or payday lender when you have a credit union available throughout your employment. We provide access to affordable credit, and we recognise that there are cheaper alternatives on the market. However, it's really important to remember that only 51% of applicants receive the headline rates as advertised by banks or building societies. So the remaining 49% will usually get charged more or may not even get the credit they've applied for in the first place. This is where the credit union plays an important role. It's really important to remember that we are here to help. We're here to help you save and there if you need to borrow throughout your service career and beyond. We want you to start thinking about preparing for your financial future now. We have lots of useful tools on our website to help you improve your financial resilience. It's really important to remember though that as a not-for-profit, we're here to support our members, but at the same time we are responsible lenders. So if we do see regular gambling or if you can't afford the loan repayments, there is a chance we won't be able to lend to you. So it's important that you think about your future behaviour. As a credit union, we make saving easy with repayments straight from your pay. We currently serve over 35,000 members. It's completely free to join and we offer a range of easy access savings accounts where you can save on a monthly basis or deposit one-off lump sums. Every member is required to save a minimum of £10 per month, and you can close your account or withdraw your money at any time. We also offer loans of up to £25,000 with no early repayment penalties or hidden fees. Your money is protected by free life cover on both your savings and your loans. This gives you the added peace of mind that should the worst happen, we double your savings up to the first £25,000 and pay off any loan up to the value of £25,000. This is subject to terms and conditions, with life cover on our savings up to the age of 65 and loans up to the age of 70. We are also completely safe and secure. With your savings, they're protected by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme. This means that should the worst happen to the organisation, your savings are covered up to the value of £85,000. What's more, our savings pay a competitive return in the form of an annual dividend. In the last financial year, 2019-2020, we paid a return of 1.2% on our regular saver. We really are different to banks and building societies. Only certain people can join Serve and Protect Credit Union, with our membership exclusive to employees within the police, prison, military, fire and health services. Once you become a member, then any immediate family members that live at your same address are also welcome to join. We're owned and run by our members. We have a voluntary board made up of fellow members who are elected, and they are responsible to ensure that we run the business in the best interests of our membership. Finally, we are not for profit. We offer a truly not-for-profit alternative, which means that any remaining surplus profit at the end of our financial year, this goes back to our members in the form of an annual dividend or is reinvested to help improve our range of products and services. Over 91% of members would recommend us. Here are just a few examples of how we've helped change their lives or been there for them throughout their service career. So join us today for free and become part of the Serve and Protect family. You can start saving from as little as £10 per month. You can change this amount whenever you wish and withdraw your money at any time using our mobile app or online member access. And remember, once you're a member, you're always a member. So even if you leave your employment, you can remain a member for life. We're here to help you save and there if you need to borrow throughout your service, career and beyond. Visit serveandprotectcu.co.uk to join today and start planning for your financial future.